This is Anna Felkelmans from Yoga Healer, and today I am here with Marcella Fulco. We are celebrating Marcella, who has been awarded Coach of the Month, is one of our yoga health coaches, and Marcella has a fascinating background, having graduated as an MD in Palermo, Italy, and during her residency went down the research path of her career to go into studying biochemistry and molecular biology, and then went to work in the United States of America with the NIH, the National Institute of Health. And so what a fascinating pathway. And then, for 10 years working in that organization as a postdoc and scientist, and then relocating your family to San Diego, where you took a pause from working and discovered yoga. Tell us a little bit about that journey, Marcella.
Yes. Yeah, it's been quite a journey in reality. And probably one that I would have never expected if I'm thinking back. In my life, I thought that I would be a medical doctor to start with, but then it looks like I always get some sort of proposal from outside, and I take it. So my professor back in Palermo gave me the chance to move to Rome to do some research. And I said, why not? I'll try, thinking that it would be just for a couple of years. And then I stayed there. And then after that, I was asked, do you want to go to the States? I was like, well, why not? Let's go to the States and try that. And this is how I ended up in working as a scientist at the National Institute of Health. And again, there thinking back, if I would have never thought that I would leave that kind of job. I mean, for me, science was like everything. But then life happens. I had the children. Life in the lab became very stressful, and I wanted to move up in terms of career, but I didn't know how to do it. Eventually, my husband was offered a position in San Diego, and I was like, okay, let's just jump into this other chance. I realized that at that point I didn't want to have anything to do with science anymore, especially the work in the lab. And in San Diego, this is where I discovered yoga. And so another world opened up for me. So I became a yoga teacher, but then I realized that the 200 hours were very, very little. I mean, I was really hungry to know more. So I started a yoga therapy program in Encinitas, close to San Diego. And this is when basically we decided to go back to Europe. So my husband got another position in Munich, and so we are located now in Munich. And I have been working as a yoga teacher a little bit here in Munich until I decided to do the big jump and join the yoga health coaching program.
Tell us a little bit about that. What opportunities did you see for your career at the time where you decided to come and join us in
Yes, I
yoga
was.
health coaching?
Yes, in a way, I felt like the period in which from when I stopped working until I decided to join yoga and coaching was sort of an introspection period in which I was studying a lot. I was really getting in all the info that I could in terms of yoga, neuroscience related to the yoga benefits, and working very little in terms that I was really teaching 2-3 classes a week. So it was mainly studying. And I felt great. I think that it was a very nice period of my life. But then I started to feel the pressure that now I need to sort of transfer this knowledge into the world. And mainly I wanted to start making money. I mean, it was like, it's been sort of the only tough part of this journey has been like having all these years without a real income. So having to rely on my husband. And I can see that it is also a learning experience after, being completely independent as a scientist, even making more money than my husband, finding myself again back into, sort of being dependent. So I find that maybe it was interesting also to have that kind of experience. But at a certain point, I felt almost like a shift in energy, like now is the time that I need to change. and somehow, the universe bring you something that you need. And I was attending probably one of those seminar on Kate, in which she talks about, yoga teacher can have a better life using a different kind of business model. And this is
Yes.
when I decided to jump. Actually, I didn't jump in right away. I started with the body tribe for 3 months
Yeah.
because I wanted to sort of try it on, probably as a scientist. I want to verify, is it working? Can I jump into a program that I haven't really tested? So I did the 3
Yeah.
months body tribe, and it was like incredible. I mean, it shattered so many limiting beliefs that I had on my own health status. I thought that I was pretty healthy, but I was thinking back, I was a little bit inflamed. My face was puffy. I had gained a lot of sort of extra weight during the time because I was approaching the menopause period of my life. But I thought that they were normal thing, a little bit of bloatiness and feeling heavy, feeling in the morning that I was not very energetic, but it was like, I mean, this is my life. I mean, there is nothing that I can do now. And then I started the body tribe, and it was like, I was very meticulous. I mean, it was like, okay, if I want to proceed in this program, I need to be very strict. So I did 3 months in which I was really implementing all the habits. And basically 3 months, I had lost all the weight that I had gained in the past 10 years. My energy was up. I was finally having a meditation practice that was daily, and very, very something that I never expected, that I would become like a morning exerciser. I'm like, no way I can do exercise in the morning. So everything
What a
was
great
completely changed.
what a great story. I mean, that how does that impact? I mean, I can really hear your conviction to your own change and the benefits that you got out of coming into Body Thrive, really applying it very thoroughly in a
Yeah.
systematic way, like I thought you would expect from a scientist, and getting such profound results. Tell us a little bit about now how you're leading the journey with your own. Who's attracted to working with you? How
Uh,
how do you?
I have a small
Yeah.
group, so it's not a big. I have like 6 people, but I see that the women are pretty much over 40. So I mean, it's somehow similar to me. So these are people that are starting to again feel that something is not right in their body. So they want to. I mean, sometimes they want to lose the extra weight, but it's more than that. They start feeling that their mind is confused. So it's almost like this brain fog.
Mm.
So they can't really make very clear decisions. And they're a little scared that things may get worse in the future.
Yeah,
And some other people are like, I mean, a couple of people were like, my students, and I'm like, okay, you're going in this direction. I'm coming with you, no matter what you're doing. I know that is gonna be good.
that's
So
fantastic.
it also
Yeah.
that. I mean, like signing up without even knowing what I was talking about.
Amazing. Have you
But then
taken your
people,
first group for the first round of the 100?
for the first year, not yet. I'm in my third quarter.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen a lot of progress. What I like the most, I mean, besides the actual results, because people are indeed losing the extra weight, they're finding more energy, they are sleeping more deeply. So what I like the most is the mind shift. I mean, sort of the mindset shift. Because I mean, people come into a program like this thinking that I'm not going to be able to do it. There is a part of them that believes that, oh, I don't know if it's going to work because I'm not really into, going to sleep very early in the evening, or I'm not going to be able to do an early dinner, that are the habits that we teach at the very beginning. And then I tell them, you just, I mean, it's not like a prescription, and it's a sort of a laboratory. So I call my program Align Life Lab, because I want it to be an experiment. So like, just do the experiment for a few days, and you see the results. I mean, if you feel better in comparison to how you were before, then you have a stronger motivation to move forward in that direction. So
I'm
what
really
happened is
curious,
that
Marcella,
yeah,
are you guiding your group in English or is it
no, in
bilingual?
Italian,
Italian. Great.
I decided to do in Italian because it's the audience that I started with here in Munich.
Yes.
And
What advice can you give for other wellness pros who are looking to take this business model into their own communities and teach it in a different language other than English? How did you use the resources? Did you
yeah,
create your
it
own
was
content?
yes, what I did. I mean, I didn't do my own videos because it was too much. And I was lucky enough that the people that, since probably they are mostly not living in Italy, the people that can join my program, they can definitely understand the English, so they can understand Kate speaking.
Uh-huh.
This
Got
is
it.
important because not all the Italian people are actually able to understand English. And what I mean, I had to translate all the guides, all the material. That was my big piece of work in the very first quarter, that I did my own, all the guide. I translated basically all the workbook, so that at least people were having that.
Way to take action. That's massive to do
And
that
then
work.
I decided that for the very first quarter, I'm gonna actually teach for 20 minutes, 30 minutes the material. So like in the way that at the beginning I was thinking, maybe I could do like a video similar to Kate, but I'm like, Kate is her own unique person. There is no way to match personality or knowledge. So I decided to actually do my own way, like with the PowerPoint, being organized, and doing a little bit also the science behind the habits. And that is the thing that probably people like the most from me, because it's my background. So
I'm
people
so
people
pleased to
like
hear that. Yeah,
mm,
we want you to have a complete creative license with this
yeah,
business model to really bring the essence of your unique ability to the habit and to the habit evolution process. So congratulations on doing that. So tell us
yes,
what
thank
is
you.
what feedback are you getting from your course members as they go through the journey with you?
They are everybody in the group is very happy, and I think that they really like the community aspect, and the fact that, it's being small, it has a lot of benefits because people really know each other, and then they're sort of becoming friends, no? So they are really supporting each other in the journey, so they don't feel alone. So it's not, most of the time they go back to Italy, plenty of food. A lot of their habits go out of whack all the time. They're coming back and like, please help us. They're going back to, they really are like happy to go back into the group and finally sort of find their way back again. And so this is where
Fantastic.
I do find that it's the importance of the group, because I think that by ourselves we do it. We could do the habits for 1, 2, 3 months. Then we go back to something that sort of bring us back to our old habits. And if you don't have somebody that sort of pull us with them, no, the risk is that we end back being the way we were before. So
I love
that's why
that.
I'm thinking this is really the most important aspect. Because at the beginning, I thought like, the intellectual, the fact that I transfer knowledge, you should be doing the early light dinner because your digestion is not going to be good in the evening. If you eat in the night, your insulin sensitivity is going to go down, stuff like that. But this is not really important. The important part is these people realize that they are doing better when they're doing the habit, and when they are coming off, they know that the group will lead them toward results.
It's beautiful insight that information doesn't equal transformation. It's
This
actually
is
the
what
opposite.
Kate always says. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pity because I love giving information. This is probably my jam, really sharing the
Well,
knowledge.
I think it's important that you do share the knowledge, and I think that the value to that when it's given in the container of a dynamic group. So it sounds to me
Exactly.
that you're to be commended on achieving that activation of the dynamic group. What's your goal? How do you want to scale and grow your business? You mentioned the value of being an intimate group. What's your ideal number of people to work with per year? And how many people do you like to enroll at what frequency?
And this is my definitely growing edge, because I'm really slow with attracting and enrolling. Probably I would like 20 people.
Yep, great.
I would like to no more than that. I mean I really see myself growing in a way that maybe I could offer some sort of VIP program, maybe getting down into a little bit more, even testing. Now I'm following a lot of the biohacking community, so as with my medical background, I could maybe help people start with some maybe starting with microbiome testing, or maybe genetic testing, something that would be, of course, for just few people, not for everybody. So somebody
Yeah.
that I could follow their health journey a little bit more in deep.
I think you've got a really great attraction, so getting visible and letting people know that these are the types of tools that you can help them navigate while you're solving the problems of inflammation or digestive issues. So I'm excited to see that evolve in your wellness career, Marcella. What was it like for you transitioning to sell a high price point journey, going from being a yoga teacher to having a service delivery business model to then changing, pivoting? What was the biggest area of growth for you as you pivoted to the business model of leading a journey?
It was, I mean, everything probably has been sort of, it was a complete change, because, I mean, for just teaching yoga, you just have to, put a post on the various Facebook group of Italian people, for instance, in Munich, and there was always somebody that was interested in the yoga class, especially also because my classes are also reimbursed by the health insurance here in Germany, at least partially. So moving to a model in which I'm offering a completely different service, it's been tough, in a way that and this is where I'm at the moment. I need to build an audience. I need to build people that are actually interested in a different kind of service, that is not the easy yoga class, but it is like this program that is long. And when I started offering my pilot, I was really strong into the idea that it would be like 1 year journey. And so the people that joined were like 1 year, but then on the course of the time, I realized that there are people that may not feel ready to commit themselves to the 1 year journey. So I'm thinking to offer the possibility to do like joining for the trimester, so that
Yeah,
people can get the feeling, and if they like, and I noticed that if you like the support that you get from the group, very likely you will step up into the yearly program. But I want to start offering that as well, so
yeah,
that people, because I feel like in this moment there is almost a gap between the price point of the yoga teaching and then this huge program. It's like, okay, if I see people want to start working with me, they don't have any other alternatives. So I want to start offering something that is in the middle, that the people can start working with me, but maybe at a lower price point eventually, if they want, of course, to move into the higher.
yeah, great. What's your price point on
I
the
mean, it's not that much. I mean, my pilot started with 1,500 euro.
yeah,
Now
great.
I feel confident in charging 2,000 euro. This is where I feel good, and then maybe it will. I noticed that it grows. I mean, with the confidence grows also the ability to charge more once you
It's
start seeing the results of your people.
yeah. Yeah, that's great. And your confidence has already grown in 3 quarters of the the leading the journey. So that'll be interesting to see where you're at in a year. With the, what would you say is the biggest shift in your thinking with the confidence? Is it seeing the lasting results, the value of the results that people are getting?
Yes, I think that's pretty much it's seeing how people can really shift and change and feeling better. And of course, there are always in every round, I find that there is always like a sort of a poster student, the one that gets the major breakthroughs. So
Yeah.
everybody sort of moves. So there are people that maybe they are sort of as slow bloomers, that maybe they do the progress just at the very last moment of the program. Some of them are like right away. You can see that they compare themselves to a year before, and they are like shocked. Oh my goodness! Now it's so hot right now in Germany, and one of my students she's telling me now. I mean, I don't know how, but I can resist the hot without any problem, and like I'm just dealing with it much better. So really very
Yeah.
little things in life that
That's
so
fantastic. Yeah, and in terms of the next iteration of your community, w- how are you how are you guiding their experience? What, obviously you're bringing in the science and ideas around how to navigate science to test and get information and biofeedback. What personally do you bring in to give your students a fun experience and help them be creative and try new practices? What, obviously you've got your yoga classes. Can you share a little bit more about how you bring your unique
Yes,
to the group?
actually, yes, I do. At the moment, I'm offering to my students 2 live classes of yoga online. So it's my I call my yoga mindful yoga because it's a sort of based on mindful movement. It's inspired by the Vini yoga. I studied a lot with Christine Weber from Saro Yoga. And so basically in the Krishnamacharya tradition, I did a lot of studies on yoga for anxiety and stress. So I actually,
Fantastic.
before joining the yoga coaching, I created a 12 weeks program for yoga therapy for anxiety and stress. And I did one series with a group, and then yoga L coaching came, and it went like very not more interesting for me at the moment. That's my problem, that I tend to sort of always move forward and leave the stuff behind. But I
I see you
incorporate
bring, yeah, I see you incorporating it.
then I incorporate. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like I sort of lose that kind of extreme focus on the subject. Like, there was 1 year that I was all about yoga for stress and anxiety and taking course with different teachers so that they could put together the program. Now, then the program was put together. It's like, okay, now what? What's next?
well, I would say that your students would be very much benefiting from all of that awareness and attention and love and
Yeah, and
care
the problem is
into
that that
program.
becomes, yes, I've given my students the access to this course, but then it becomes like too much. So
Yeah.
the resources become too much to digest.
How do you
And this is
see?
something that I need to learn to do in terms of probably leverage a little bit all the material that I have sort of collecting in the last couple of years of online teaching that without COVID would have never happened in my life. So if it wasn't for the pandemic and me being forced to move online, I would have never had now all these libraries. So I have like, I don't know, more than 200 videos of
Wow.
yoga. So sometimes I'm thinking that I'm done with the teaching yoga. That's it. Now there is the library. I mean, I can see like Kate sometimes says, you need to start letting stuff go, and I
Mhm.
see that definitely the teaching of yoga online is something that I can feel is getting close to an end,
That's
because
interesting.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
I'm getting really sort of bored right now
yeah,
to sort of, unless I find a way of tweaking and incorporating something completely new. I'm
yeah,
thinking, okay, well, whatever I had to tell, I told. It's on those video if you wanna. But I don't know. You never know in life. Now I'm gonna go back to the studio, so we'll see if maybe going back to the real students live, it's gonna bring me more energy into the yoga
yeah,
teaching going on.
yeah. Look, it's all an evolution, and I just want to congratulate you for arriving at this point now where you have options, where you're questioning, you've got the option of growing your wellness community so that you can continue to lead the journey and see other activities become optional, or you can always pull them back in to do the marketing so that some people can meet you through the yoga event and start to learn about how you can solve the problems that they present with anxiety and depression, and or just having a yearning for really understanding the science behind the health recommendations that they're considering. So been such a pleasure to take this deep dive into your experience with yoga and health coaching, Marcella. And again,
Yeah.
a huge congratulations to you and amazing effort translating a lot of those resources in Italian and delivering such an amazing experience for your members. How lucky they are to have you, and just wish you all of the best for this next phase of your career.
Thank you very much for having me here. It was like a honor to to be coach at the man.